everybody, it's Vani. Welcome back to another Positivity Voice Live. I am super excited for this live stream with a really good friend of mine. I've been wanting to do this for a while now, and I'm so glad that we were able to find a time to do this. So today I will be interviewing Vanessa, Prom, and I'm very excited for you all to get to know more about her and her passions and her visions. She is truly so inspiring. But before we get started, I want to talk a little bit more about Positivity Voice, especially if you are new on this page. Positivity Voice is all about really bringing in some positivity. I started this as a sector of my initiative Ease to bring in some positivity during the pandemic, and I love being able to continue this because it's so important to hear stories and to find inspiration and find positivity in times, regardless of what else is going on in the world. So I see that Mia has joined on, and I'm very excited to talk to her after so long. A great Friday.
Hi,
Hi,
Mom.
Mia. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you? It's been so
Oh my
long.
goodness, it's been so long since we've talked.
I
I'm
know. I mean, it's
excited to.
been years probably, but I
Yes,
love keeping up with you on social media and seeing all the
absolutely.
amazing things you're
Oh
doing.
my gosh, same. I love getting to see, all the new adventures that you have and, everything that you're involved in. It's super, super cool.
Thank you so much. You too. Are you enjoying college?
Oh my gosh, yes, I'm actually in my dorm right now.
Oh my gosh, really?
Um, yes, but it's been really fun. It's been, I know we've talked a little bit over Instagram too about college, but it's been really fun and really a unique opportunity for sure. Getting to, be away from home and getting to experience new environment and everything. So it's been good. What have you been up to?
Well, I'm a junior in high
Yes.
school, so it's that busy time of year. I know senior year is a lot less stress because now it's all of the SAT
Mhm.
taking and making sure all of your grades are up because these are the grades the colleges are going to see.
Yep.
But it's okay. I'm making the most of it. I'm having fun with my extracurriculars too because I'm in TV production, so I get to
Awesome.
be the news anchor, and that's my future profession that I want to also major in college as well.
Okay.
So I'm making sure I'm building that portfolio.
Yes, absolutely. So, can you kind of start off by telling more about your involvements and just about yourself, for those who may not know you?
Yes, well, my name is Vanessa Prom, and I'm 16 years old, and I'm the current Miss West Chase Teen USA. I'll be competing for Miss Florida Teen USA
Woo!
in May. I know, and I'm very excited. It'll be my first time competing in the Teen USA system for my state, and it's definitely a change because I've been a junior teen, but now it's that teen level up. I know you've had to transition with that as well,
Yes.
but I'm also a nonprofit founder of my own initiative called Be Beautiful, Be Fly. And it's a social movement where you get to inspire people to embrace who they are, but also be kind as well. It is a club at my school, but also something where I interview pageant queens. And also, I have my own book as well called Finding Yourself on Amazon, which also ties into that 14-day journal to becoming the best version of you. So that's
Mhm.
really who I am. I'm Mia Flagger on social media, the one who wants to be a positive influence with everyone. And I know that you're doing that as well. So I just love uplifting other people and sharing their stories. It really is powerful when like minded people come together and share their passions in a positive light.
Absolutely, yes. And I love that you've done so much with Beautiful Bee Fly. Can you talk through kind of that journey of how you got started? Because I know you're involved with Kind Mouse as well. How was that kind of journey like developing, Beautiful Bee Fly and also getting it to be a club at your school?
Yes, if it weren't for pageants, I would not have started any of my initiatives. And because in 2019, that was my very first international pageant,
Hmm.
and I had very low self-esteem. I was always like comparing myself and looking in the mirror, and I didn't like what I saw. I always felt different from other people, and I wasn't proud of where I came from because I looked around me at school and no one really looked like me. But on social media, because I started filming on YouTube since I was 6 years old. So I know that with a click of a button, you can connect with people from around the world. And I thought maybe other people go through the same thing that I go through. And turns out I've created a community here on social media where I post inspirational quotes. I have real talks where I'm just talking to the camera about real struggles that teens face today. And then it turned into a club as well at my school where people from all grades, boys and girls alike, we do vision boards, self affirmations, and we have guest speakers that started at a very low point in their life where they faced so much adversity. But it really is about uplifting people to be the best version of themselves. And that really starts with being comfortable, getting uncomfortable, and stepping out of your comfort zone. And Beautiful Be Fly is a social movement for anyone. And it's also a website as well, so people they can share their own stories. And I have positive affirmation series as well. And I also have Fly Fridays where people that have a voice or a cause can share as well of what they're passionate about.
That's awesome. I mean, kudos to you for kind of growing it and, bringing it to all aspects of your life. That is so amazing. Has there been like a favorite project that you've done so far that you think, is your favorite out of all the things that you've done with your platform so far?
My guest speaker that I had at my high
Mm.
school. Her name is Nadia Combs, and she's one of the advisory board members, like the head of my county in my high school. And she started off incredibly poor, and that she wouldn't have a good education because her parents didn't go to college. But then look where she is now. She was able to run for office and also win when there were so many people rooting against her. And that really is a story, a testament that
Mhm.
if you have your heart set on a goal, you cannot let any obstacle stop you from that. And because Beautiful Be Fly, I know girls have their platforms and they create it so they can win, but Beautiful Be Fly is something that I want to continue even after
Yeah.
pageantry. I know that your platform, Ease, like that is something that is universal that ties in even without the crown and sash. And that is the skills that pageantry taught me, but also Beautiful Be Fly. That experience, I wouldn't have had that confidence to actually ask her, like, hey, can you be a guest speaker for my club? And that was just a magical experience for everyone. Like, they were so focused on what she was saying. And I've never seen that at my high school before. Everyone's sometimes very negative, like, oh, I'm not confident in myself. Like, there's no way I could be successful. But once they've seen someone like Nadia Combs get out of their comfort zone and actually achieve despite everything that was in her way, then that is such a powerful tool that everyone can use.
For sure. No, I love that. I'll definitely be looking her up after to see because that's so cool because the ability to, captivate an audience is a skill of its own, right? Especially in high school, you see that a lot. So that is definitely a amazing project that you were able to do. I think that's so inspiring to have people, come in, get to learn and share their stories and even, doing live streams as well. That allows you to learn more and to kind of see things from a different point of view. So that is incredible. Thank you so much for sharing.
Of course. I mean, that's what we're here for, is to support each
Yes,
other, especially
absolutely.
on Instagram
Mhm.
Live. We can connect with people from around the world, different time zones. It really is an incredible tool nowadays because not a lot of people utilize it. They see it in like a negative light, but this is the time for people to realize I have a purpose and we can share things that people normally don't talk about, but uplifting others is what we do.
For sure. Yeah, and I know you mentioned, pageantry is something, it kind of brings out that voice in you. You know, people create their platforms knowing that others have platforms as well, but I think it's more, you know, it builds confidence so much in you to be able to create that platform. Like, I know, you know, for me, I've been volunteering ever since I could remember, but, you know, the stepping up to actually create something where you can share the messages that you've learned with others, you know, it takes that confidence, takes that extra step forward that pageantry and experiences in your life definitely teach you to go towards and take that initiative. So that's amazing that you were able to do that. And I wanted to ask about the name, you know, Beautiful Be Fly, and also your nickname. Where did that come from?
I love that you asked that question. I
I'm
mean,
dying to know.
well, I'll give you the whole background. So my name, Mia Vanessa, that is my first name,
Hmm.
and it means my butterfly. And my mom on Instagram, she's known as Fly Momtographer. She
Yep.
is a very talented, and she's like my momager. So Fly Momtographer, and I've always loved butterflies because my name means my butterfly. And I
Yeah.
thought maybe when I was about 9 or 10 years old, my YouTube channel name became Mia Fly Girl, the girl that goes with the flow, who's optimistic, who gives people advice. It's kind of like the alter ego, but it's not really an alter ego, it's who I am. And I thought
Right.
that was the perfect name that really exemplified the person that I want to be and also like the example for other people. So be beautiful, be fly. I always thought being fly is like the girl that is just does her own thing. And be fly is a saying that really does spread positivity as well. And be beautiful, be fly is something that I've never really heard before, but once come together, it was an absolutely amazing experience. I was like, wow, Mia, fly girl, beautiful, be fly. Like that's basically my whole brand is helping people and uplifting one another.
Yeah, I love that. And I think your mom said your papa called you Mia
Mia
girl.
girl, yes.
Oh,
And I
that's
just added the
cute.
fly because Mia Vanessa means my butterfly.
Yes, that's really sweet. I love that. What like language does it translate? Like that your
Well,
name means?
Mia Vanessa, I believe it's Spanish as
Okay,
well, but other than that, I'm not sure. My mom was
that's
just
so
like, I
cool.
like the meaning, I like
Yeah.
the names together. She always liked the name Mia and Vanessa, so why not
Yeah.
combine it?
Yes. No, I love that. That's amazing. And you said you've been doing YouTube since you were 6, like doing recording videos. Wow. What made you get started and kind of how have you continued? I know I love watching your vlogs. Literally they're like the highlight. Whenever you post, I'm like, yay. Like stop everything we're watching me as vlogs. So how did that kind of get started?
Well, thank you so much for watching. I tell you, it's harder than it looks because it takes like my IJM vlog took about a week to edit
Wow.
because there was so much footage, so much going on, and that's kind of how it goes. It's a whole process, but it started when I was in because I'm an only
Mhm.
child and I didn't have any siblings to play with, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to make my own use of my time and record myself. And I started with vlogs of just showing my house or just my very first video was about the American Heart Association. It was a jump rope for heart fundraiser and I was showing like the ducks that you could win if you raise like this amount of money and it got 10,000 views.
Wow.
And I didn't tell I didn't even tell my mom that I had it. I think I used my dad's account or my grandma's account to post it.
Hmm.
But ever since then, I thought, wow, people actually watch what I'm doing and they see that it's a great cause. So I thought,
Yeah.
what if I keep doing that? And with pageantry, I know it is a very stereotypical for people to think it's all about looks
Hmm.
and the beauty, but I wanted to show the behind the scenes, like backstage, all of the rehearsals, me removing my makeup or getting ready at like 3 in the morning. Like this is a
Yep.
lifestyle. This is something where people don't really know the experience. But then once I posted these pageant vlogs showing like the real authentic side of what it really takes,
Hmm.
what happens at the pageant more than just on the stage. People were saying, "Oh my gosh, I got into pageantry because of you," or "You inspired me to compete." And these little girls would come up to me and say, "I love watching your vlogs," and that just meant the world to me. And it was people from different countries as well, which is just mind blowing to me. But that really is the power of social media, is that you're able to utilize it to connect with people from all walks of life.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. That is so cool to see how it's progressed. But I feel like also it takes a lot of motivation to do that because, as you said, like editing it takes forever. And if it's not your favorite thing to do, you're like gonna dread it and it'll take forever
Yes.
to keep going. What are your like graphic design editing tips that you have for anybody who wants to become a YouTuber or vlog or, kind of go after those goals?
Well, first, I don't think you need any fancy equipment because I mean, look, we're basically being interviewed on a phone nowadays. So a lot of vlogs now are just with your phone. I edit all on my phone as well because I want to be able to go to school or like be on a lunch break and edit at the same time instead of bringing a hefty laptop. So there's so many apps that are free like InShot, iMovie, CapCut is really
CapCut.
great as well. CapCut has my life. It is my bay. It's literally amazing. So for anyone that wants to start with YouTube, I I would recommend starting with a niche because there are some people that say, okay, I'm gonna post dancing. Now I'm gonna post makeup, or now I'm gonna do something else. And you really have to find out your brand and what you want people to learn from you because YouTube is a search engine. Because there's a search button, and a lot of people make how to do your makeup tutorial. So it's very important to know your
Mhm.
niche, what you want people to learn from you, and being consistent as well.
Yeah.
Because I know some people, they post and they get 29 views. You're like, oh no, this I'm just not getting anywhere. And yes, it does start like that. All of the YouTubers, it probably took them 10 years or a lot of consistent action every single day until it paid off because it really doesn't matter where you start. Everyone starts from rock bottom. But
Yes.
if you keep on being consistent, then your work is going to pay off. People are going to see that dedication and they will realize your potential and your worth.
That's amazing. No, that's really great advice because I feel like, when you start something in anything, if you don't have a niche, you're kind of all over the place. You don't
Yes.
know what works, you don't know, what doesn't. And it's fun to document everything, but at the same time, have a sort of topic or something that you want to focus on because that kind of is what builds your network. So that is amazing advice.
Thank you. I've been in the game for a
I
while.
Yes. I have just randomly, I like to just post random things. I mean, I post the live streams on YouTube, but I will definitely take that advice and hope to grow it as well.
Of course, I'm here for you. I have a lot of tips and ideas. What I do is I look at what's trending or what
Mhm.
songs are trending too, and then I use that to tie in and incorporate to my own videos. Like I've gotten over 1 million views before. I posted
Wow.
on TikTok like my first runner-up journey of me getting first runner-up like
Yes.
6 times in a row to finally winning, and it kind of told a story. So you want to not just post meaningless things that don't really have any impact. You have to have a story behind it, or also having engagement too. Like if they can comment on it or a poll or something like that can engage the audience with you so you can network with each other. That's also very important to building your community.
I love it. This is like a mini how-to series at this point. I love it. Yeah, that's definitely great advice. And speaking about your having a story and really talking about your journey of resilience, I want to talk more about that because getting first runner-up multiple times can be disheartening, right? It can make you feel a lot of different emotions.
Right.
So talk about how you handled that and what did you use to overcome those feelings and those emotions that you faced along the way.
It was all in the mindset, and that is the biggest. Like, if I could underline and highlight the word mindset, I would, because if it weren't for my positive thinking,
Mhm.
then it wouldn't have happened. See, the positivity series, this is all tying back together. So, when I got first runner up, in the moment, I cried a couple times and I was thinking, what did I do wrong? But the truth is, you didn't do anything wrong because different judge, different day, different results, and it is subjective because it's just based on people's opinions of you and their first impressions. They don't know your full story, or maybe you weren't even able to talk about your whole story either, because it is about knowing what is meant for you will not pass you by. Because if I just gave up then and there, I wouldn't have won the international title, or if I stopped competing, I wouldn't have met you or all of the friends and valuable people in my life that mean so much to me now. Because when I started competing, I thought, oh, this is to win, and that's
Right.
the outcome. But you can't think like that, because the moment that I actually won, I wasn't thinking of the end goal or the results. Instead, I was thinking of the journey and trusting the process, all of the memories I made along the way, all of the times that I was able to grow. Those are the moments that are so valuable that you have to take away rather than focusing on winning.
Yeah.
Focus on yourself and how you were able to grow, because the Mia that started before pageantry is totally different to the Mia now. And just seeing how far you've come too, and just being grateful for that, that really helped me overcome all of the negative thoughts, because I realized I'm proud of where I came and where I ended up now, and that's really the most valuable lesson that you can ever take, winning or losing.
For sure. And I think when you start pageantry, it's easy to just want to be like, okay, win or lose. It's only in between that. But I think as you continue to kind of grow and develop and even competing in pageants or any competition in general, I think you start to notice like those small like nuances or those things that make the experience so worthwhile, right? It makes it so much more than just the awards. Like you get so much happiness and satisfaction from just being there that it makes the whole experience worth it. And I think your journey is so inspiring. I mean, anyone who sees your channel, anyone who
Thank
sees
you.
your Instagram will definitely leave feeling inspired, because it's not easy to just, get a result and then continue, right? It's very easy to just give up. It's very easy to want to just not continue and be like, okay, I'm done, right? And so it's definitely easier said than done. So for you, like, how did you shift that mindset to make sure that you didn't allow it to affect you negatively?
I'll be honest, it definitely did affect
For
me during the time when
sure.
I was holding hands with the winner, and I was just thinking like, oh my gosh, am I gonna get first runner up again?
Mhm.
Or maybe I'm not gonna win.
Yeah.
But when I actually did win, I never thought that of the end result. I never thought, okay, I'm in here and I can't make friends, and this is game mode, and I'm just focused. Because when I got first runner up so many times, I was always feeling like I had to be perfect, or I had to be who the judges wanted me to be,
Yeah.
or what they were looking for. And that is not the right perspective at all. But I also had coaches, and then I realized, okay,
Yeah.
maybe I just need to let go of expectation. So
Mm,
that was my mindset shift. I realized that no matter what happens, I am growing, I'm learning, and I'm becoming a better person every time I'm stepping on stage or I'm talking to the judges, because this is building me. Because pageantry does give you life
mhm.
skills to talk in front of an audience and not be nervous, or to build a resume as well, but also to look presentable, even like for job interviews or college interviews. This is all helping me, and it's not hurting me if I don't win,
Yep.
because I'm still becoming the best version of me.
Mhm.
So when I changed my mindset to I'm letting go if I win or lose, I'm just here to enjoy the experience, have fun. I worked as hard as I could. I gave it my all, and that's all I can do. I can just trust the process and let go of the outcome. And once you do that, once you aren't so fixated on the end result and like I have to get this, I have to get this, or else my life is over,
Yep.
then you realize the carefree way is the only way that you're able to not have stress, and it will show, it will translate on stage or when you're talking to the judges, that you're just there to have a good time and to enjoy the experience.
Yes, That is amazing. I feel like, just letting go. You mentioned letting go of the expectation. That's definitely hard to do. And, just kind of being there because, when you're somewhere, you're there for a purpose, right? But the purpose can be so many different things. It doesn't just have to be like the end result, like you said.
Yeah.
So it's definitely all about enjoying and soaking up those moments because that's what you're going to remember. You might not remember those trophies that you get. One of my favorite sayings is that like those trophies or crowns, they'll just be collecting dust, but those memories, right? Those are the ones that'll stick. So I think that that is a great representation of that and your whole journey. So that is so beautiful. That's definitely something that I think so many people needed to hear and hopefully will hear and reach the right people.
Yes, thank you. And also, one of the sayings that I have in my book is fall
Mhm.
forward. And that just means every time you make a mistake or you feel like you messed up or you didn't get the outcome you wanted,
Yeah.
there's always something out there bigger and better for you.
Mhm.
And everything does happen for a reason. I 100% believe that because a lot of people, they give up before they even try. They listen to their inner bully inside telling them, like, oh, you're not good enough or you don't have what they're looking for. And those thoughts in your head can really stop you and prevent you from even trying in the first place. But you cannot let that negativity stop you. Instead, you have to realize, I'm going to do it anyway and do it scared because no one is 100% ready. Like when someone's preparing for a pageant, no one's like, oh yeah, nothing will go wrong. It's going to be great. But they're going to be like, okay, whatever happens, mess up or not, I'm going to be flexible and adaptable. I'm going to let it go. And whatever happens, happens. And that is the mindset that everyone needs to have, especially when they want to be successful, not just in pageantry, but in life. Because the only way to win in life is you can't, success does not lead to happiness. Happiness leads to success. So once you're happy and content with yourself, then the success will come.
So well said. I love that quote. I think that should be like framed on every wall. That is amazing. Do you ever feel like it's those inner voices or even like society's expectations? Do you ever feel like it gets to you? And how do you kind of bounce back from those feelings or those inner voices that tell you that, oh my gosh, I have to do this or I have to
Mhm.
get this certain result?
The inner voice never goes away. It's always going to be there. Even the most successful people in life, they do have those thoughts of, oh no, what if this fails? But the truth is to do it anyway
Yep.
because you can't let being scared stop you. And I know that happened to me so many times before where I would get comments on my videos and say, like, oh, Mia Fly Girl, that's such a lame name, or you are not the real Miss Philippines because you weren't born there, because those words really did take a toll on me. And
Yeah.
I wrote in my book that there could be so many comments like pageant friends saying, "Oh my gosh, you're so amazing, you're so inspiring, you uplift me," but then that one mean comment can get to your head.
Yep.
But even though that has happened to me before, I just realized I've come so far and I have a purpose and my legacy is to spread hope. Like my grandpa who passed away in 2020, his last word was pag-asa, which means hope in the Filipino language.
Mhm.
And him just always being there for me, always being strong, I realized that this is something that is bigger than
Yeah.
bringing the legacy that as long as you're breathing, life is worth fighting
Mhm.
for. And that's what everyone needs to know is that you always have to give it your all and always have hope until your very last breath because you never know. You really
Mhm.
don't. So you have to give it your all because you're going to regret it if years down the line, oh, what if I did this, but I was too scared.
Yeah.
But you have to do it scared because those feelings are never going to go away, but your success will pay off when you realize you were strong enough to overcome those negative feelings.
That's so beautiful. I mean, hope is something that we can never or we should never let go of because once we do, it's like you're restricting yourself, right? And I think
Mhm.
that's so amazing that your grandpa said that in the Philippines. That's such a great story because I feel
Thank you.
like it shows so much in terms of like what you can learn from others and what you can take from others and what was so important to him for for you to hear. And so that is so special. And I wanted to learn a little bit more about your Filipino culture. I know you do a dance, like you do like the, I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but like the, is it the sticks?
Oh,
And then you like,
Tinkling.
yes, can you explain? I would love to learn more about that.
Yes, so I'm part of the Philippine Performing Arts Company, and we're located in Tampa,
Mhm.
Florida. And Phil Fest, which is Filipino, but just like the Phil part of it, and then Fest is our biggest Filipino festival in the United States. I mean,
Wow.
last year over 17,000 people came on the course of 3 days of the
Mhm.
festival, and it was amazing to see people from all walks of life coming over to experience the Filipino culture, the food, and the activities, the singing as well. But tinikling is two bamboo sticks, and then you clap them together while you're jumping through the
Yep.
sticks as they open and close. And they're made of bamboo, and it is extremely difficult for people to learn at first. It was for me as well, but it requires a lot of coordination and rhythm because you have to go to the beat of the music as it opens and closes, and sometimes it goes really fast, but it's really fun to see people that, because when I started, I really, people made fun of me for my culture because of the food I ate. They would see like, oh, what's that
Yep.
smell, or what is that chicken or something, and it would make me feel like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm left out. I'm different. But then once I joined, and then I realized, okay, if I am accepting of my background and where I come from, then others can learn to be accepting of who they are as well. And I've been able to teach others, like, okay, maybe I could learn more about my cultural roots because that's part of who I am. It's in my blood and my DNA, and no one can take that
Mhm.
away. And it really is it's a very amazing experience to immerse yourself into your culture, to find out a part of you that you didn't know you
Mhm.
had. And of course, as a first generation Filipino, Cambodian American, it is a lot of identities at one time
Yeah.
that you have to learn, that you have to accept it, because at the end of the day, you're always going to be with yourself. So you have to love who you are and give yourself grace like anyone else you love, because that is the only way that you can spread positivity.
I love that. And I can totally relate to the what's that smell saying, because, walking into the lunchroom and bringing food from, your culture that your mom made, and you're like so excited because you love that food. But then when other people are like very, they're saying questions that like that, it makes you kind of doubt yourself. It kind of
Yes.
makes you feel ashamed of bringing those
Yeah.
foods or sharing your culture. And so it's kind of like you said earlier when we started, it's that journey of self love and self acceptance and finding those things like the dance, which is so cool to me. Like, it looks so hard, but like finding those things where you can really celebrate your culture, that is so special.
Yes, I 100% agree, because you have to embrace who you are, because at the end of the day, you're always going to be with who you are. So you
Right.
never know. And also, it's really amazing to see people hear about your culture and say, oh my gosh, that seems so fun, or I didn't
Yeah.
know about
Yeah.
that. And even though it's only half of me, because my mom is
Mhm.
Filipino and my dad is
Mhm.
Cambodian, and I don't really know much about my Cambodian side, but I was always raised by my Filipino grandparents as well. So that is a big part of my identity,
Mhm.
and you should always be proud of that, because they immigrated from the Philippines to here. So having the American dream and living that is something that I should be grateful for.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, I love that story. I love that journey. I think it's something that is special, something we can relate to, and I just love getting to hear about different sides of things, because we always like see these things. Like I've seen the dance. What is it called?
Oh,
Ta
tinikling.
Tina Kling.
Yeah.
I've seen that so many places, and it's so beautiful, and I really appreciate you sharing that, because it definitely it allows me to see it in another way for sure.
Thank you so much. Maybe you should try it one
I
day if you come
know.
to Tampa.
We'll do like a tutorial. I love that.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. And it's fully teamwork based too, right? Because there's people
Yes,
that
there's
like move
two
sticks
people
and
that help
yeah.
keep it together in sync. So
Wow.
it is a group
I
effort.
know. No, that's so amazing. I definitely next time visit we'll work on that.
Yes, come to Florida. Like
Honestly,
we're
I
here
don't
for you.
think I've ever been to Tampa, so we'll have to plan
It's
that
not
trip.
that far from Orlando. It's like 2 hours away, but down
Nice.
south.
Nice. I love it. So is that where West Chase, is that kind of like a that sector of Florida?
Yes, it's in Tampa, but more of like central Tampa.
Okay,
And
cool.
then 2 hours away is Orlando, and we just go up north. And right there, and there's Disney and all the
Yes.
pageants. It's like the
Right.
pageant
It's
hub is
central to
right
fun.
there.
Yes, I love it. So, what's next for you is going to Miss Florida, Teen USA. So, what are you most excited for? I want to hear about how you decided to compete and kind of your journey and what you're working towards, as it approaches and gets closer.
Well, being a teen is completely
Oh yeah.
different. I've always been used to, I started competing in pageants as a preteen, so when I
Mhm.
was 10. But then I bumped up to junior teen, and now that I'm a teen, it's hitting now. But I'm very excited because I've always looked up to Miss Teen USA and Miss Florida Teen USA, and it really is about embracing your individuality and
Mhm.
becoming the best version of you, which completely aligns with my
Yeah.
values. So I've never really competed in the active wear competition, but I love evening gown and interview. But on stage question, I'm also very excited for as well. I feel like it's time for that
Yes.
challenge, that
Right.
next level.
Mhm. No, that's so exciting. I mean, also, I think activewear is something that even for me, it was the first time competing as a teen, and so
Yes.
it's definitely unique. It's super fun. I always think of it kind of like a very close to like casual wear. Like I don't know, I just feel
Yeah.
like it's very close to casual wear,
Like you're when
but
you're
definitely
wearing tennis shoes
and
and
tennis
you're in a
shoes,
fitness outfit.
right? And so it's like you're comfy too. So it's a
Yes.
win-win like
Like your
that.
feet
But
aren't hurting.
exactly. It's a nice break between everything, but that's really exciting. When is the pageant? I would love to, stay tuned on social media and, root, cheer on for you.
Yes, I thank you so much. And the pageant is May 23rd through
Okay,
25th.
wow.
So it is Memorial Day
Mhm.
weekend, which is great because school will be out, and I'll also be very excited for the summer
Yes.
as well. What's next for you?
For me, I'm starting, obviously, classes are going on. So, in the summer, I'll be kind of continuing with summer classes, opportunities, internships, all the fun career things.
Wow.
But definitely, continuing to um, do Positivity Voice lives, work on social media. That's something that I've always wanted to continue to do because I think it's so amazing to get to talk to you and get to talk to people who have such incredible stories. So I'm excited to continue the series and continue my work with ease throughout college as well, because that's really what it's all about.
I love that. Career woman, I can see you walking into those corporate buildings and just dominating and getting all those deals
Yes.
and contracts. Like, girl boss.
Send all the good vibes. I definitely in the future we will get there.
It's manifest.
Awesome. So before we end off, I wanted to ask you, this is something I ask every guest, because the message of ease is really about youth empowerment, but also empowering others to not only serve their community, but also, like we talked about a little earlier, it's all about becoming the best version of yourself and getting to go after those goals, even if those setbacks or failures come your way. So what is your message for the youth? It can be anything that you want it to be.
You have to get to know yourself, but also get out of your comfort zone. My saying is get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yes.
And that is something I preach, especially when you're young, because when you're scared, you're always going to be doing the same things and you're never going to grow. And that's something that I struggled with. I also was not confident in myself. I remember starting pageantry. I was stumbling on stage. I was stuttering over my words. I was hiding behind my mom because I always felt different.
Mhm.
But once you realize that you have a purpose, you have to fuel that passion and that fire to keep going despite any setbacks. And especially because I'm the president of the Kind Mouse organization, where I'm mentoring the youth to be grateful for all that they have and being kind and uplifting others. You really are never too young to make a difference.
Yeah.
We started 5 years old at the Kind Mouse. They're already packing food and giving speeches in front of strangers to raise awareness about hunger, especially in the Florida Pinellas County area. But that expands to everyone around the world to know that the only setback and the biggest one is yourself. So you
Yourself.
have to get over that hurdle and get out of your comfort zone, and then you will find success and find yourself as well.
That's awesome. I mean, such great advice throughout the whole live stream. I know I'm feeling so inspired, but I also feel inspired every time I talk to you or message you. You just have that effect on people. So thank you so much, for sharing that. It's so important that we know that age isn't something that should restrict us from going after those big goals and big things. And thank you for sharing all of your stories and your journey, and how you stayed positive, because it's definitely, as you've heard many times, it's definitely an inspiring thing, to see and to feel motivated by
Yes.
your journey. So
Thank
thank you
you.
so much for sharing, and coming on here.
I'm inspired by you as well and everything that you're doing. You're always posting and being active and consistent. That's really the definition of what a true queen is. I'm very proud of you as well, and I miss you.
I know, I miss you too. We need to have like a in-person gathering at some point
Yes,
next time.
me too.
Yes, maybe in the summer, maybe next summer. We'll see.
Yes, in the summer because school is going right
Busy,
now,
all
but
the things.
yes, it's very busy, but thank you so much for allowing me to be a guest on your positivity series. It was such an honor, and
Yes.
I will always be cheering for you and all of the amazing accomplishments and guests as well that you have and your career as well in business.
Thank you so much. It was so nice to talk with you and have you on. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. And I hope everybody has a great night as well.
You too. Thank you so much, Bonnie.
Bye.
Bye.